What is going on, guys? Counterfool here with the episode 14 review of Walking Dead on season 3. I always change the title up like usual. I don't know why. Episode name is Prey. So actually, I was trying to say something there and I realized I haven't said the spoilers yet. So if you are watching this and you have not seen the episode or not caught up until this episode, I recommend leaving now. There will be spoilers, of course, and you should not be spoiled. You should watch it live. Not live, because this review's out, so it's probably not live, but watch it. Just don't watch this video until you have done so. Because if you blame me for your spoilers, you're an idiot. I know it's harsh, but you're an idiot. So leave now. I'm going to begin right now. So this episode, I could put it in like 5 words. It's Killed Within Woodbury edition. I think they did a good idea with this. They gave prison the whole thing. Let me turn down my TV. You probably hear it right now. I do have Talking Dead on, like last week. But this is the Killed Within Woodbury edition. SK. It isn't. Would I say it's up to the standards of what the Killed Within was last season? The beginning of season 3, no, it wasn't up to that because there was way more that happened in that episode and more surprise and like whoa. This one definitely had a whoa, but it wasn't just like there wasn't 2 deaths. There wasn't even a death really. It was intense and you were on the edge of your seat the whole time. So I'm gonna go into the synthesis. Actually, the AMC one never updates at like the same time. Last week it was like 10:12 it updated, and it's 10:18 right now. I'm recording this and it's still not up. So I'm going on different synthesis. It might miss some stuff. If I miss some stuff, I've watched the episode just like 15 minutes ago. I don't have the greatest memory of it, but then it sounds stupid. But I mean, there's some parts that I'll forget that would mean nothing, and somebody might point it out. So you start off with a flashback to the winter, which I think was the first one we've seen this season. It was Michonne and Andrea sitting there just talking, and like Michonne says one thing, and Andrea asks about her walkers, and they did emphasize on the chains, which you will find out in like 2 seconds. But as a flashback, Michonne says one word, gets pissed off, and storms away from her. And then they look at the chain. Go back to present time. There is the governor with the chains that Michonne used on her walkers, her pet walkers, I should say. And he's testing them out. Obviously, he's preparing for Michonne to show up. Will she? Does she? I don't know. I'll do that the speculation part at the end of this. So wait until then. But yeah, the governor. Every episode, he just inches more and more to the crazy one. Is he gonna get in the comic book level 1? No. The TV's flashing. Sorry about that. If you see background. But he's inching. By the end of this episode, I think he is transformed, and there's no going back. So he's at he's in a chamber within Woodbury. It's a torture chamber. Martinez is, doing his thing. He comes up a little bit, but Milton asks where he is, where the governor is, finds him in the torture chamber, asks what he's doing, and they have this whole little thing. The governor calls it the workshop. Milton, every second you see him on screen, he gets more weary and skeptical of the governor's plans. Milton's still on the whole thing that the biters, which they call, do they have a little bit of the leptin in them? Do they? I mean, let me rephrase it. Do they have, their old selves in them? And Milton says he agrees. The governor, he doesn't believe anymore. Ever since Penny died, he doesn't really give a damn. But Milton always this whole thing about the prison thing, how, oh, we shouldn't attack them. We thought we were gonna, record history and make a new world for everybody, and not fight others. So the whole thing was just the governor showing, he's taking a little bit more to the crazy side. Milton finds Andrea, tells him about the plans about the Michonne deal, where the governor's gonna trick the prison group by bringing Michonne, killing everybody else, taking Michonne, and Milton shows her the torture room, and Andrea decides to make the right choice. At terrible timing, but she's making the right choice. She's done with Woodbury. She's gonna kill the governor. That's her plan. She's lining up to shoot him while he's in the torture room. Milton stops her. Milton, you don't know about Milton. Milton, he's two-faced at this point. He wants Woodbury to be his home. He has hope, while the other one doesn't want to be there anymore. Andre decides to actually leave Woodbury and not carry out the plans of killing the governor, but just go into prison to warn them. Milton, she's trying to bring Milton along, but Milton, once again, his heart is in Woodbury. He wants to stay in Woodbury. So he decides to stay. And Milton also explains how her whole killing the governor will break apart. She'll kill the governor, but it'll still go on. Milton has it in his head that Martinez would carry out the same things, but we learned last episode that Martinez has a soft side to him. Would he carry out the plans of the governor? I don't think so. I think he's starting to question a little bit. He's not going to question it because he has nowhere to go. He could go to the prison, but really, the second he steps there, he's going to die because he's the enemy of the state. So he's, Milton thinks he's got in his head that Martinez will do the same thing. Andre's about to leave, and I thought my phone was going off. But of course, the governor shows up and says, "I want you to be here." He's like, "Okay, lies." They're both showing poker faces. It's no surprise that both of them are knowing each other's plans at this point. So she actually decides to go to a back end, where last time we saw the governor golfing, Tyrese and Sasha are on watch. First time we seen him in 2 episodes, I believe. 2 episodes, maybe 3. She's trying to trick Tyrese and Sasha to get off the wall so she can, run off. But Tyrese, being smart, says, Martinez, we take over for him, not you. She goes up on the little bus thing she has. She's like, "I'm leaving." Like, Tyrese's like, "No, you're not." Grabs her, pulls a knife on her. She leaves. She explains to Tyrese that Woodbury is not what it is. She explains the governor is not what he is. So they're being brought into the fold. Every segment, they're learning a little bit more. They learn a little bit more in this episode with him. So they let her go. Back at Woodbury again. You see the president once this episode, and it's not even relevant to the prison. It's relevant to the Woodbury storyline. This was the best Woodbury episode yet. There could be another one. I don't know. There's 2 more episodes after this, so there might be more. Depends if they go in season 4. I don't know. But Tyrese's group, Tyrese and Sasha, tell the governor that Andrea left. I always want to call it Andrea, but it's Andrea. And Alan and Ben, they're irrelevant at this point. They're just antagonists at this point for Tyrese and that. But Tyrese does the right thing by telling the governor that Andrea left. He wants to stay there. He's doing the right thing. He's the leader of his little group. People are gonna hate him. Oh, why'd you do that? Why, it was a smart thing to do. He wants a safe place to stay. Why ruin it when he thinks it's safe at this point? He knows about the prison. I'm pretty sure he knows about the prison. Attack the prison. The plan. They're showing the torture room right now. I'm Talking Dead. But yeah, so Tyrese's group narcs on Andrea, basically. The governor's gonna go find her. Milton says no. And the governor finds out, pretty much pressuring Milton. Milton doesn't say a damn thing, but the governor finds out that Milton's been talking to her, and he told her about the Michonne idea, plan, whatever you want to call it. The governor's pretty pissed off at this point. Milton, once again, is breaking a little bit by part away from the governor. And it's, Milton, I don't know about Milton. I just feel like Milton's going to do, either he's going to do something major for the prison group, or he's just going to come out of nowhere and just surprise you with something. I don't know what the plan is with him, but I don't think he lives till the end of the season. Truthfully. There's some facts behind that. But yeah, and then you see more Tyrese, and that they're in the front wall going with Martinez on a run to the Walker pits. Him and you learn about you get some development about Tyrese's character, Alan's character, Ben. Not much Sasha. You find out Tyrese is kind of he's an anger problem. You learn a bit more at the middle of the episode, but Alan is jealous of him. Basically, you find out that Tyrese saved his wife's life, and he's bitter about it. It's just a whole thing within the group, kind of like the prison group in the beginning. Should Rick be leader? Some people got qualms about Rick. Some, and they're just showing Tyrese's inner group and his past with the group. So they're developing him at this point. They'll do something by the end of the season. So they end up leaving, and then you see Andrea walking down the road on the way to the prison, as we can expect. Obviously she's going to go there. She's not going to just go to random places. And she finds out the governor's chasing her. Not surprising. We already know that. She doesn't. She probably guessed that he would, so she hides in the woods. She gets stuck with walkers some weird way. It was an awkward scene, and she survives it, of course, but how do you not see the walkers walking in there? I don't know. I don't care, frankly, though. No, it was just showing that there's going to be a chase down coming. A big one, at that. But yes, she just gets in a rut, gets out. Then back at the Walker pits with Martinez and Tyrese's group, they show up at the Walker bait area. Biters, I don't care. And Tyrese and Sasha are starting to question it, while Alan and Ben are not. Seeing that they do have a moral side of them, while Alan and Ben don't give a crap. But Ben really think has been pushed away. He's just silent. He doesn't know anything yet. By know, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, he doesn't want to say anything. He's not up to the age, while Carl is like half his age, probably. So, but the little conflict starts coming out. Tyrese and Alan. You see Tyrese get angry, almost tries to kill him. He pulls him over the Walker pit. You see Tyrese is kind of a hothead, a little bit more, that he does have a temper issue. In the comic books, I forgot to mention comic book spoilers, but I don't think I really need to. But in the comic books, he is like this in the comic books with the anger issues. Yeah, I gotta see more to see if it's like the comic book exactly, but he does have anger issues. But he's a good leader. But this whole thing actually gets him in trouble. Martinez is like, "You going back to town, all four of you, and we're gonna see what the governor wants to do with you." Alan, that's what triggered the whole fight, I should say. And Martinez, after that, sends it back to the governor to be handled by the governor. The governor's at Woodbury at the moment, as you can tell. And this is where the creepy shit comes in. Like, I had to piss really bad in this part, and it was just borderline, do I go or do I not? This was one of the most creepiest scenes you will see up to date. There might be more coming, in future seasons or future episodes, but this one takes the cake for now. Andrea's in an open field, which is not the smartest thing when you got somebody chasing you. She sees the governor again driving around in a pretty cool truck. I want one of those. That thing is a beast. And she's like, she's driving away. She's like, I'm good. Gets up. Nope. The governor knows she's there. Driving towards her. She runs into the woods. I don't know, man. Let me read this really quick, just catch up. Night comes, she finds an abandoned building. She's, quietly stepping. Of course, she hits a couple things while she's in there, make noise. The governor knows she's in there. The governor comes in there. This is where the creepy shit comes in. You could say it's a cat and mouse game. Glenn Mazzara was pointing that out in interviews. It says in this synthesis that I'm reading right now, cat and mouse game. In the building, governor finds out she's in there. After making a couple noises, the governor starts whistling, and that's if you're watching a horror movie, the insane guy always whispers. So that's a nice little addition to add to the show. He's insane. He's lost it. And whistling doesn't help. He did earlier in the episode, but this one he's using that tactic now, and he's just whistling away. Nothing, he's all calm during this, screaming at her, "Hey, come home!" He's insane now. There's no going back, no point in return to the political governor, which I'm going to call him, to the insane governor. Is he insane? Is he like the comic book governor? He will not reach that point because it's TV. Like, you can't go as far as he did in the comic book. He might actually, but stick around for that explanation. She's creeping around. He's following her. They have to get like this close. The YouTube screen close. And the music they play, they're always getting you with the music. They're just playing. It's like the second to last episode of the first part of season 3 with that robotic heartbeat, and then they mix it in with some insane horror music. It was just terrifying. And they're still going around in that. There's noises everywhere. The governor's following them and everything. I'm trying to read this. She tries to get away, and there's a huge staircase full of walkers that she finds out about. I should mention this before. He has a shovel. I didn't mention this. It's not on this thing, but it was insane. Wow, it was insane. He had a shovel. He's hitting the horror style film. He's breaking glass. He's taking the shovel across the gate, making noises, whistling, and on that. So they're giving him the horror film character, basically showing that he's transformed into what we see in this episode, an insane guy who will not let things go, and he's gonna be crazy train, yeah. But once again, he gets right in front of her, and he's smiling, like, dancing. He's like, "You can come home now." She opens up the walkers on him. And goes down another door, which I don't know why she didn't the first time, but whatever. Maybe she's thinking of something. It was pretty smart by her, but also you could argue that it wasn't. And she opens it up. All the walkers come out. She goes down another door, staring at the door when the walkers going up to governor, which kind of just was a really good shot because you just see her looking out a broken window. It's probably as big as the YouTube screen that you've seen this video on, and just staring at the governor, killing all these walkers. He does survive. There was a big pack of them, not like significantly big, but a nice big size. He takes them all out, of course. You're not gonna make him die to that stuff. That'd kind of be weak, man. So, you know, he fights him off. Back of the Walker pit, I'm just gonna say this right now. Somebody burns the walkers that they're gonna plan on using for the Michonne exchange. You don't see who the person is, but I'm pretty sure we can speculate it's Millen. You know. But yeah, somebody shows up, burns them. Like I said, it's probably Millen. I'll explain a little bit later why I think it is. Shumpert, the buff dude with that stole Daryl's crossbow and he got it back from, shows up, it's burned. And that's the next day. Now this is where it just gets insane. Like, you're just like, no. Like, even though people hate Andrea, like, this, you don't want to see this happen to anybody. So she finally gets to the prison. She's worn down, beaten up. She can barely speak or anything. She's waving her hand. And who's on watch? Rick. The guy who sees things, stuff and things. He's on watch. She's over there waving her hand. You could see her. And right when she breaks the tree line, the governor comes out, and I'm going to quote Chris Hardwick on it, do a Buffalo Bill type of style thing. Grabs her down, covers her mouth. Rick sees it, but he's like, oh, oh. And he does those weird faces. He's like, and he shuns it off. He's like, no, I ain't dealing with your shit, Lori. Done with this. Needless to say, next episode he probably hallucinates. It was in the promo. I'm sorry, I had to go there. I usually don't speculate within the episode, but he, you know, that was the only thing we saw with the prison. And of course it was Rick on watch, seeing things. Andrea was this close from safety, from Woodbury, of course, not complete safety, but she's this close, and she was denied. That was the scariest thing for me. Even that cat and mouse thing, it was just like, damn. And then you see this, like, you never want to have that to you. You don't ever want to see anybody have that happen to. You're so close to something and you just get denied, and you try to get away from something that's so bad and you can't handle it anymore, and you want to leave, and you're close to the stuff you need to end it, and you don't get it, and it's just gonna get 100 times worse. And that's going to happen to Andrea. Governor comes back, tells everybody that he did not find her, but he did. He has her in the truck. He's got, he's being his suave type of governor. He meets with Tyrese's group. Tyrese's group is like, he's all sorrowful about it. He's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Tyrese is like, he turns red sometimes, and Governor's like, okay, you could stay. It wasn't really that important, but it could be foreshadowing, maybe. They actually did not. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, because Andrea said stuff to him. Said, like I said, the governor isn't who he thinks he is. Tyrese never told that to the governor straight ahead, but he told Alan and Ben. So Tyrese does not trust the guy right now, but he wants to please Alan and stay here. So he's got Alan holding him back at this point. So it was a nice little thing. And now the creepy part is, this is so many people. Andrea getting caught. You saw the torture room in the beginning. She is in there. Some people are gonna be like, yes, Andrea got caught. Nobody likes her care. She's gonna die. But really, you don't want to see somebody get tortured. If anybody's gonna get tortured in the show, it's gonna be the bad guy. Is she the bad guy? Some people might argue it is, but she's just trying to do the good thing, and she has terrible timing. So you gotta think that something's gonna happen to her. I mean, if you look really close, it's kind of like, this is 18 plus, but there was a dildo, and that just signals something, not just torture, but yes, that it's gonna be Are they going to show it? I don't know, but if they do, it's just going to show you how insane the governor is. It's not going to be comic book level, but they're really progressing the governor at this point, and he is going to be a scary man. So that was just the ending, is Andrea in the torture room where Michonne is supposed to be, and there's some toys you do not want to see there. So that's how it ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm going to in the speculation part for next episode. There might be some spoilers if you're a person that doesn't want to watch promos. So if you're either person who just shuts it down until next Sunday, I recommend leaving. I hope the people who are leaving right now that enjoyed the video. See you next week for episode 15, The Sorrowful Life, I think it is. And I'm going to get in the speculation part now. So thanks for watching. The people who are leaving now, and see you next week. Now the speculation part, episode 15, the second to last episode of season 3, is named The Sorrowful Life. We're gonna see the prison group. I watched the promo, after the show promo, and the AMC promo, like the sneak peek on the website. I haven't seen the Talking Dead one. I always record this during Talking Dead. It's gonna be prison episode. Maybe splashes of Woodbury. What happens is Andrea, I don't know if they're going to show it this episode. They might emphasize in episode 16. I think that's more likely. Now this is getting heavy spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. This is speculation. But Andrew Lincoln did an interview, and I think maybe one other person did an interview, saying this episode is a very emotional one, and there's going to be 1 or 2 deaths in it. People I think could die this episode. There's just a heavy emphasis on Merle in this episode, with the Carol scene, Daryl trying to redeem him for Glenn. I just feel like Merle's time has come to end. I really like Merle. Michael Rooker did a fantastic job with him. I don't have high hopes for him to actually just live this season. I thought maybe he would just be a storyline for Daryl, which I expected the whole time. I didn't expect him to live the whole season. But I think it's him. If there's 2 deaths next episode, I think it's him and just Milton. I don't want to go into it. I'm gonna go into it. But Milton, it doesn't necessarily mean that he dies, but the character that the actor that plays Milton actually got signed on to be a regular on the CBS show. Doesn't mean he dies, not exactly, but he's a regular, so his schedule's gonna be tight. They could film the episode during summer because Walking Dead films during spring and fall, I believe. So you never know, but just adds onto it. I think it's Merle and Milton that will be the goners if there are 2 deaths next week. I think they're going to go through with the Michonne plan. I think Rick is questioning the promo, and I think Merle's trying to go with it. I think it's a tough episode to predict because episode 16 is coming up, and it's gonna be. It might be a bloodbath, it might not be. But I think episode 15 will just be, every corner you turn, you don't know what's gonna happen. You can't really be like, I know that's gonna happen. Something like one plan can break apart and go a different way than they expected. So, I think episode 15 is just going to be, the title says it all, This Sorrowful Life. It's got to be something sad within it, someone dying, something like finding out something, I don't know. Andrea finding out what the governor is going to plan for her. I don't know, it's a very tough episode to predict. But I want to thank you guys for watching this week's review. I will see you next week for episode 15, The Sorrowful Life. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't, I'm not forcing you. I'm not holding you gunpoint. I'm not going to chase you down like the governor did to Andrea. But I will see you next week for episode 15, The Sorrowful Life. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and this video. And thank you for watching. And I will see you next week.